Hey, I'm Geeky Pastimes, and this is my quick first analysis of the new Firebase Z trailer for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. It's coming out soon. If you like this video and you like my zombies content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm definitely going to be playing this, a week today, February 4th. We're going to be streaming this, going for World's First alongside Noah J456, Codename Pizza, and Starburst. But for now, let's have a look at what's in this trailer and what we can work out. So the beginning of the trailer is showing us Outpost 25 Vietnam, and this shows us kind of Samantha Maxis going in to kind of infiltrate the outpost and work out, she's obviously trying to investigate what Omega Group are doing here in Vietnam.
I'm still in the field. I have to meet a contact.
I am not proud of everything I have done.
Now this guy is Ravenov, so this is the guy that was R on all of those pictures that we had before. Lots of people were sort of saying, oh, the R is going to be Richtofen or something like that. Instead, we've got this new guy who's very interesting because, he's Russian. He seems to be working with Maxis, but later on, the rest of the team seem to be wondering whether he's betrayed them in some way. And he's even lit up in a kind of suspicious way. So I'm guessing we might not even find out whose side he's entirely on, even by the end of this Easter egg.
But I am proud of what I am doing. Omega must be stopped. No matter the personal cost to people like you and I.
No, my friend. They are the ones who are going to pay.
They have already opened their new worlds.
So we have this hand coming out of the portal, and we'd seen this already in an image released by Treyarch, that there's this hand that seems to sort of beckon Samantha in, or maybe grab her, and this seems to be the last we're going to see of Samantha for a bit. And the mission for this whole zombies map is to try and rescue Samantha. But where's she been taken? Has she been taken by Omega Group, or has she been taken by the Dark Ether? I don't think we really get to know that by the end of this trailer.
Ravenov, my team's reached the...
So now it jumps to the operators, the people that we're going to play as, turning up in the village. So I'm assuming, and bear in mind all of this is kind of assumption and speculation at this point, that this is going to be the spawn area. This village is where we're going to start out. Now there's immediately some kind of interesting things going on here. So we've got an ammo crate here, which implies this is a place that we could potentially spend a lot of time in, or maybe we're going to come back to later. And there's also one of these purple arrows. So these purple arrows are used throughout D-Machine to kind of point us in the direction of the Pack-a-Punch machine and building that and turning the power on and things like that. It's going to be interesting. Like here, they seem to be pointing towards the portal that we need to get to.
Village.
Now, if I just step back a little bit, this is something that I find very, very interesting. But it could be absolutely nothing. It could just be a pickup. So if you look in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, there's this little symbol here, or it could be an item with the sort of blue pickup outline just in that corner. And if I move a few frames on, it disappears. So I'm kind of curious about what that is, because I think if it was just a pickup, a grenade pickup, it's weird that they recorded this cutscene with all these custom animations and everything with a pickup on the floor. And it looks kind of like it's on the side of that box. So I know for sure when this map goes live, I'm going to be going and having a look at that box to work out what's going on with that blue bit that disappears.
Requiem, welcome to Vietnam.
So here we see one of the Omega Group zombies. I think this is very cool with the kind of gas mask stretched out over his face. And the gas mask is obviously sort of torn away and you can see his teeth underneath. I just think this is a very cool design for a zombie. Now here we can see another one of these arrows. So you've got the arrow that we could see before is just down there. And now you've got another one up there. They all seem to be pointing, maybe you go through this building, up the stairs, and then down towards the portal. I'm guessing that's what's going on here. Not much else you can see there beyond the portal that I was talking about. That's how kind of we can work out that's where we're going. It does seem like there's a big horde at the beginning. If this is the starting area, I'm wondering if this is going to be a bit like on Moon, where you sort of spawn Area 51 and the zombies overwhelm you very quickly to kind of force you to go through the portal to Outpost 25. Or whether this could be an area that actually we could stay in for quite a long while if you're just leveling up guns and things like that.
We have to get out of here now.
Then they jump through to Outpost 25, and one of the things that I found interesting about this part of the trailer is that the portal is still active. This isn't a one-way thing. It looks like you could immediately go back to the village if you wanted. So I'm assuming we're going to have a reason to go back to that village. There might be something that we need to build in there, or something that we need to find in there, or maybe when we go into the Dark Ether, we'll be able to go back to a different version of the village. Or even, will we be able to reconfigure these portals and be able to sort of point them to go to a different place entirely rather than just that village area? So this is our first really good view of the main area that we're going to be playing in, the sort of outdoor area. You can see again on the left, there's kind of that purplish glow as if it's an arrow or something. And we've got wall buys here. You've also got the perk machine in the back. I think that's Tombstone. You can see it sort of straight away, like as soon as you come into Outpost 25 by the looks of it. Then there's another view and you can see the arrows a bit more clearly. So there's an arrow there and there's an arrow there, sort of pointing you into this direction towards where the mystery box is. Now, another thing that's really interesting here is you've got this kind of ether coloured energy field all the way around. And it looks like there's islands in the distance. So this must be the sea, I'm assuming. So you've got this kind of strange force field energy around the place. Maybe this is protecting Outpost 25, so the only way in and out is a portal. And maybe that's what happened to this helicopter. Maybe the helicopter tried to escape, but crashed back down because of this energy field being switched on. Now, another thing that's interesting here, and I'll talk about it a bit more when you get a better view of it later, are these strange things on the side of this building. They almost look like big fans. I'm starting to think we're going to shoot something into these to activate them or something, but they're very, very strange type things. I haven't seen anything like that before.
On the move.
So you can see here, we see a bit more of kind of some of the interior areas of these sheds. There's also a bit of red writing there that I don't entirely know what that is, but I think it's kind of interesting how vivid that red is. Then we've got this guy. Now, we don't see in this trailer any kind of dogs or any replacements for the dogs. So I'm assuming that this is some sort of the Megaton, because he seems big, he seems quite strong, he's shown to be a bit of a bullet sponge. But because we don't have any dogs, like maybe this is going to be something to replace the dog round, I'm not entirely sure. But he looks a lot more sort of spindly and fast than I expected him to. Very, very energetic. Now we can see here another area, and you've got a pistol wall by there. And then here we've got one of the most interesting things. So these seem like some kind of generator maybe, or some sort of, it almost reminds me of the thing from Green Lantern. It seems like it could be a soul box, and you get a bit more evidence for that later. But there's a bunch of them all around the map, so we see quite a few of these, and they change colour. So at the moment it's blue. I'm guessing the things inside are maybe ether crystals, but we see a bit more of them in a little while. So we go past that one, and there's another one on the floor, and then we've also got this big thing that's been the focus of some of the pictures that we've seen, that definitely seems to have ether crystals inside. And these seem to be connected to it in some way, so the light seems to be shining on them. Now here, you actually see some zombies dying, and you can see their souls coming out as if they definitely are filling up a soul box. Now, when we just go back, if we go back a few frames, just to when we were looking at that lower lantern, if you just pay attention to the background, you can see all of the screens are off. So chat was telling me about this, that all of these screens are off in the background. There's kind of, you can see a bunch of computers and things just on the left around here. And there's nothing illuminated there while everything's blue. Now, after they're killing a bunch of zombies, and there, if you just saw, you could see a soul escaping from one of the zombies. So one of the zombies is killed, and then a soul actually escapes and shoots off towards the central thing. Then this happens.
I pick up the pace if I...
And now you can see all of the screens have switched on. That thing has changed colour in the middle, so this thing has changed colour to purple. Then this changes to purple as well after a bit of time. This seems to be how we're turning the power on. Seems to be how they're powering the outpost, is by using souls and the ether crystals in some sort of combination, which is kind of an interesting mix. Like, do they need zombie souls for it? Have they been using people's souls for it? I've got no idea.
How are you?
So there we can see these are purple now.
For Max's sake.
And then you get a good view of like all of these lights shining and the screens behind. And that looks, maybe, is that a workbench or something down there? And yeah, and you can see that like nothing's changed outside. We haven't gone into the dark ether or anything like that. We haven't suddenly shot into it. But we've started powering up the base now. Then we get a nice view outside, and we've got a lot of these pillboxes with these kind of turrets in that don't seem to be placed turrets. Instead, they seem to be turrets that are part of the map. So maybe this is a return of traps. Maybe we're going to have traps again that we can pay to activate to turn on and sort of keep some of the zombies at bay down here by this sort of crashed fighter jet. And again, you can see there's like, in the distance, you can see some palm trees on the other side of this force field that's still there. It's interesting, this kind of whole area looks like a slightly different time. I'd be interested to know, I'm sure people will be able to date that tank. But the sandbags and everything, it almost looks like we're going back to trenches and things like that. So you've got a fighter jet there, and you've got this turret, which we see in a bit more detail in a moment. Like I said, this doesn't seem like the turrets, the normal sentry turrets, like maybe it's some sort of turret like a trap type thing. And there we get it in a much better view of these new kind of turrets. Now, this is very interesting that out of the mystery box, rather than getting it from anywhere else, we see this gun. So this is what seems to be a new wonder weapon type thing, whether it's a replacement for the ray gun or whether it's a new wonder weapon for the map. It obviously seems more sort of human in terms of like it's got a lot of bits that you'd recognize from other guns. The sight and the stock seem very, very similar. It's got some sort of grenade launcher attached to it. It seemed very cool when I used it, but it's got that kind of cyberpunk vibe, which I really like. Sorry, steampunk, not cyberpunk. I've got cyberpunk on the brain. Here you can see it firing the grenades. And everything goes flying up in the air. And it also seems to have another shot, which is just more like a normal machine gun shot. Now, here we have this sort of jump pad machine, and you can see there's actually an arrow, so it shows you which direction you're going to go into, and it throws you up onto the radar dish. Actually throws you through the radar dish, through the hole in it, which is very convenient. Now, this is the thing I was talking about, this weird sort of fan there. I'm not sure, maybe on real radar dishes, I haven't had a look yet, maybe these really exist somewhere, but I find that very, very interesting, and it kind of has a little bit of a light on it. I feel like we're going to be doing something with these, because it just looks so out of place to me. Then we have this sort of jungle area at the back of the map. Now, this is something that, as far as I know, we don't know anything about this. We haven't really seen anything of this jungle area, but there's clearly zombies coming out of there, so there's going to be a whole different area just outside the outpost, but going up to the shield, which is kind of cool. Then we've got Tombstone, which we already know a lot about. That's something that they've released a lot of information about that in their blog post. But here we get to see the machine and the can in a lot of detail, which is very nice. Now we've got this guy that I've been promised is the Mangler, I think it is, from Gorod Krovi. Now, holding my hands up, I've only played Gorod Krovi literally once when Greg FPS was kind enough to take me all of the way through the Gorod Krovi Easter egg in one go. But this is something that apparently we've seen before. Now, I find it interesting, like, is this going to replace the Megaton? And like I said, are the other things going to be dogs? Or are we going to have two mini-boss type things? Like, we did have Mayak and the Megaton before, so it's possible that we've just got two different types of mini-boss on this. But he's definitely got these kind of claws on his left arm, and then he's got this energy weapon on the right. There we go, see the energy weapon there. Now we've got this guy, the Giant. So, you can see this right now. He wanders around in the forests in D Machine. Once you get past round 40, you can sometimes see him if you go in Dark Ether, and I've even seen people manage to get him to spawn while not in the Dark Ether, although I haven't done that myself. Now, seeing him up close, he's disgusting. You see there's like bodies attached to him, there's like a leg hanging out there, he's got exposed bones. He is a weird, huge machine. And then look at that, he's got like a Godzilla type beam that he blasts out. Now, you can see there the operator shooting him. I assume this guy's going to be the boss, which is amazing. Like, that's so cool to have like a big epic boss. In D Machine, we had a sort of boss fight, but it was really just a fight against lots and lots of enemies we'd already fought. This thing looks like we're actually going to get a big boss fight, which is very, very cool. Now, also worth noting is that the force field type thing looks like it's still up. It doesn't look like we've gone through and broken the force field and allowed him to come close. So I'm guessing that's not what this was trying to stop. Also interesting, we don't look like we're in the Dark Ether. At no point in this trailer that I've seen does it look like we go into the Dark Ether. In D Machine, that was quite a big deal, you know, seeing the jellyfish in the sky and stuff like that. But here, it doesn't look like we're going into it at all. Or at least they don't want to show us what it looks like when we are in it, which is very, very cool.
You're lying to me.
Now Now, this is the bit where it looks like we've got Ravenov, and it looks like maybe he's betrayed someone, or at least we think that he's betrayed us. It's kind of interesting knowing what's happened to him. I would say the red lighting, they're definitely trying to make us think that he could be a bad guy.
If you betrayed her, if any harm comes to her, I will kill you myself.
And that is Firebase Z or Firebase Z. So like I said, it's coming out February 4th. We're not entirely sure on the timing yet or when the Easter egg's going to go live or anything. It might be in the UK. It might actually be February the 5th in the morning. We're not entirely sure on the timings or anything like that. But when it does launch, we're going to be trying to get world's first on the Easter egg on the main quest. And I'm super excited. So please do go subscribe to me over on Twitch. Go follow me there. I'm Geeky Pastimes on Twitch. That's where I'm going to be streaming this Easter egg hunt. Like I said, alongside NoahJ456, Codename Pizza, and Starburst. We managed to get world first on D Machine. I'm hoping that we can do it again. I'm pretty confident because when we did the D Machine one, I'd barely played any zombies. Whereas now I've been playing it for a long time. You know, I'm kind of getting practiced up, so it should be pretty good to go for this one. So if you like this, or you've seen something that I've missed, I've heard that there's like a scrap table, you know, something that you can build something that I've missed. There might be other bits and pieces. Please do let me know in the comments below. I'll be really, really interested to see. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. At the very least, I'll see you next week, ready for the release of Firebase Z.